Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to the show. My name is Aaron, and I'm here with my co-host Elijah.
Bang, pal.
And today we're talking about WandaVision. So we literally just watched episode 6 like 30 minutes ago.
Yes.
And it was amazing. There was a lot of shit that went on, and I don't even know what to say. Like I'm still kind of shook at everything that happened. So my favorite part was we got to see a little bit of Quicksilver and his powers, but we also got to see the kids and their outfits. In a way, we got to see Wiccan's outfit, but we did not get to see Tommy's. Tommy, right?
Sure.
You don't know the
No,
difference?
I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's Tommy. Billy is Billy is Wiccan,
That's what I thought.
and Tommy is Speed. And
right.
we did not get to see Speed's outfit.
Speeds is like green and white.
Yeah, so in the episode, I mean, just for anybody that hasn't seen it, you might want to click off and go watch it before you listen to this. But they did use Quicksilver's outfit for Speed. Both Speed and Quicksilver were dressed the same on the Halloween themed episode. So Elijah, tell me what your thoughts are on this episode.
I loved it. It was definitely interesting. I'm excited for next week. I think more than I am usually with this show, especially with the way it like trailed off at the end with the like whatever you want to call it,
Her reality spreading.
Yeah, like her reality.
She's trying to make it bigger, and
Yeah.
like I said, I think that we might be seeing her possibly just expanding this until it's worldwide.
Yeah,
She might just recreate a whole new world.
Yeah, she might recreate a whole.
And that
reality.
might be the way that we get to see all of these mutants, because it looks like Wanda is actually creating mutants, and that is
Yeah.
how they're going to make their appearances in the MCU.
From what we learned when Kat Dennings' character pulls up Monica Rambeau's blood work, she's changing every time she goes in and out of the reality. So it's like physically changing her like body and like giving her. Well, we don't know, but I think it's gonna end up giving her her name Proton or something like that. Photon. I think it's gonna give her photon abilities that she has in the comics.
Now, we didn't get to see what's her name? Kat Dennings. What's her name in the show?
Darcy.
We did not get to see her after she had been sucked into the reality. So we don't know if she could possibly be getting powers.
Yeah.
What she looks like on the inside now, because she was handcuffed to the truck.
Yeah.
The reality expanded over top of her. So I don't know if she's going to get powers or not, or who she could possibly be. I haven't even looked into it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really done any research on her either. I don't know that she's even like a staple Marvel character. Like she might not even be she might be new to the universe as one. So,
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested to see if she gets any powers.
let me do a Google.
I'm really liking the Quicksilver, but like you pointed out earlier, you said that he could possibly be a villain as well, like with Wanda, because you said that they started out as villains. But I thought it was interesting that whenever he mentioned Vision dying, she did not even hesitate to blast him with her magic. And the kids, we got to see a lot of Speed. We got to see him running around a lot, but Wiccan didn't really show his powers that much until Vision was trying to escape, and he noticed it.
Yeah, he could like feel his dad like screaming and like.
And I thought I did think it was interesting how it's almost like Wiccan can keep track of how fast Speed is going.
Yeah,
because Speed was running and he just stopped him in
Yeah,
place
that was cool.
with his magic.
I didn't say anything at the time being because I wanted to like save it for now, but I don't know if you noticed, but whenever Vision exited the simulation or whatever, I'm just gonna call it simulation. Whenever he reality, I guess would be better.
Yeah.
But a better word. Whenever he exited the reality, did you notice what was in his forehead?
The stone wasn't there.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah, he had it.
I mean, I guess that's true because, like,
which is
if
weird.
Wanda has the power to destroy it, then she could possibly have the power to create it. But at the same time,
that means now there's two.
Well, no, not necessarily, because
there would have to be, because they already put one back, and she just, I mean, unless she went and got it, that would make sense.
But can she time travel?
I mean, she's a reality warper. She can do whatever she wants with reality. So if she wants to snap and make it a different time period, then she probably could. I wouldn't see any reason why that wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Now, granted, she doesn't seem to really know that she has that much power yet. Because what I grasp from her and Pietro talking in Town Square, she doesn't really know, like, the whole picture. Like, she doesn't know everything that's going on. But she's happy, and that's the main thing that's like kind of keeping her from investigating more.
Yeah. At the same time, though, the Avengers could have held on to the Mind Stone to try and bring Vision back. But at the same time, I don't think Vision wanted to come back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what his will said is that he wanted to stay dead
because he didn't want to become anybody's weapon.
Well, no, I think he had two requests, and it was to stay dead and to not be made a weapon. So.
Yeah,
because I know for a fact they said they didn't want to be a weapon, but I want to say with a good amount of certainty that he also didn't want to come back.
Yeah, but that's exactly what that guy from S.W.O.R.D. is wanting. He wants to get his hands on Vision because he wants to create weapons with him.
From what we saw, what was portrayed in the show, what's his name, Haywood? Yeah, the Haywood dude is specifically tracking Vision. So, she's stolen from a S.W.O.R.D. base, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably just there as like asset management. Like,
I'm starting to think
my
that
job
he might
is
be
to get him back.
So I have two outlooks on this character. I don't know if he's just trying to protect the asset.
Yeah.
Or if he's actually a villain.
I'm starting to think that
I think he might be connected with Hydra. Because we've already had people inside.
You can spell Hydra with his last name, by the way.
That's true. But we've also seen Hydra members in S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Avengers movies. Right. So it's a possibility that we could see another Hydra member inside of S.W.O.R.D. as well.
Right. I just think it's kind of weird that I didn't watch Captain Marvel. Is there any word of S.W.O.R.D. in Captain Marvel that you remember?
I don't remember. I mean, I literally just watched that movie again the other day, but I don't recall anything about S.W.O.R.D.
That's weird that they just popped up right in time, right after Endgame.
Yeah, because I mean, I haven't watched any of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Netflix because they have their whole series on there. Yeah. But
is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that technically?
It's connected with the
canonical?
MCU. Yeah.
Okay. That means Ghost Rider's real.
Really?
Because he's in that show.
Well, I've also heard that he might be showing up in.
The only problem I have with it is it's Robbie Reyes and not Johnny Blaze. So that's kind of.
I've heard that he's supposed to make his appearance in
Johnny Blaze.
Well, just Ghost Rider. He's supposed to make his appearance in the next Doctor Strange movie.
I want Nicolas Cage back so bad. He would. I don't care what anybody thinks. Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider is the best superhero movie ever.
I like Ghost Rider, but those movies for me, they were just a little cheesy.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're great for the time period though that they were made. Like Ghost Rider compared to like Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Nothing.
We're just not going to talk about that Daredevil.
Yeah.
But back on to the WandaVision. I'm kind of curious what the whole deal was with Vision trying to get out, because whenever he was trying to get out, he was just falling into pieces. I wonder if that's because whenever he entered, he was in pieces.
Right.
But I don't know.
I think he can only survive in the reality. I think that version of Vision is specifically like tied to her reality. So once he exits, he just like dissipates. And I'm really curious to see what will happen to the kids if they try to get out. Well, like I was saying earlier, in the comics, what happens is she has these kids in this reality, and then the reality ends, and she's without her kids, and she's real distraught and fucked up or whatever. And she reaches out to Mephisto, and it's like, hey, let's crack a deal. I'll do something. I don't really remember. But just give my kids souls so that I can have my kids back. And that's how Wiccan and Speed are actually born into the comic line. Yeah,
there's no doubt in my mind that that's probably what's going to happen because
I'm hoping so.
obviously that they're trying to bring in the new usher of characters.
Right, the new
you can't have
stage of villains.
You can't have Tony Stark for the rest of existence.
No, especially because he's dead.
I mean, I would love to see Iron Man forever, but you know,
I mean, I'd be okay with even seeing like an Iron Family, you know, like Iron Lad, Iron Heart.
Yeah, but at some point you got to bring in the new, out with the old.
Yeah, it's always good to have a new, refreshing.
And I really think that those two kids are going to be a huge part of.
Well, yeah,
the future.
In the comics, they go on to be a big part of the new Avengers. So
far, I think that the new Avengers is going to consist of the twins, Speed and Wiccan. We're also going to have Kate Bishop.
Yep.
We're going to have
Miss Marvel is supposed to be making an appearance.
Yes, I believe she actually gets her own TV show.
She is.
And I think we're going to see a Hulkling.
I don't know. I think Hulkling would be very decisive.
Either that or just a She-Hulk.
I think we're going to get
we're getting a She-Hulk.
I think we're going to get a young version of like a just got to college, just trying to get up in that lawyer business, fresh off the streets She-Hulk, which would be really cool. I'd really like to see that. That also kind of opens up a law battle, and I don't like watching law proceedings or like anything like that, but I feel like I would sit and watch a complete episode of like 45-minute TV of just Daredevil and She-Hulk in a courtroom going like, my plaintiff is blah blah blah.
Hey, that could be how Daredevil makes his way into the MCU.
I've heard that Spider-Man has like some court trouble he has to go take care of or something for some
in the
reason.
third movie?
Yeah, and Daredevil's going to represent him.
I'm really excited to see that movie because that comes out in December.
Does it now?
Yeah.
I ain't that far.
We're also getting Black Widow.
Do we have a date?
I feel like I've seen a date recently,
I
but
haven't heard anything.
If I remember correctly, it's either spring or early summer.
Okay, that's not that bad. That's still pretty close.
And we're obviously getting Falcon Winter Soldier next month, which I'm like dying to see because I love those characters.
I've heard a couple. They're not my favorite. I've always WandaVision. When I saw that it was coming out, that really excited me because Wanda's always been one of my favorite characters.
We see. I feel like there's two types of people. You either have people that love the characters with just a ridiculous amount of powers.
That's me.
Or you have the other people that you can kind of relate to them because they're more on the fence of like a normal person, but they have like gadgets and shit. Yeah. That's my kind of person.
Yeah, you like the Batman and the Nightwings and
the because
Robin Hoods.
They're more of like a realistic thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just in reality, you're not going to have a Wanda making up a whole freaking universe inside of a bubble.
I mean, that is pretty realistic. I'll give you that.
But it's still cool. I mean, I still love WandaVision. WandaVision's an amazing show. It's a great way to start out the new year. And I'm actually very looking forward to these last 3 episodes.
Yeah, especially since I didn't really know when Winter Soldier was coming out, but I'm kind of excited that we just have like this lineup of like solid TV.
Yeah, I mean,
for,
like
the next
Marvel's
months.
killing it. Like literally, within like a few days after WandaVision's over with the last episode, that we're going to be going right into Winter Soldier or
I've
Falcon.
heard some pretty cool theories about it too.
Yeah, I haven't really heard too many like appearances. Excuse me. The only appearance that I've really heard of so far is Wolverine, and that's probably just a stretch. I don't even think that.
I've heard that the villain is Baron Zemo.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
Which it makes me so sad that they chose him to do that, to be the villain, because the last time we saw him, he was given like a talk or whatever. He was given a stern talking to by T'Challa, and he still chose to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it, how much do you need?
I don't know how I feel about him being a villain, because he's not like any other villains that we've had.
He's much more of a Red Skull type guy. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't really have powers. So
he's like a behind the scenes, just trying to corrupt everybody type of deal. Not really
he's
like
much
in your
more
face
of like a mastermind
powerhouse
type of guy.
Yeah.
I think we'll start getting more and more into like the AIM kind of comic area with the Baron Zemo.
Yeah, because it looks like it looks like Falcon and Winter Soldier are just gonna have to fight through a lot of his like henchmen. Or
I've heard a theory going around. I didn't think it was. I don't know what like the word would be, like correct word to use, but I've heard a theory going around that he's gonna adopt his like purple mask from the comics as like a way to taunt people, like, oh, you remember Thanos? Like that.
Yeah, because I've seen in the trailer he carries a purple ski mask in his hand.
Yeah, but I kind of thought that was like, that's a little bit of a reach, but it's still kind of a cool idea, you know, like, I'm gonna use your biggest failure to taunt you.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty villainy. Like, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, he might be more corrupt than Thanos in the head, because literally the heroes saved everybody, and he still thinks that the world shouldn't have heroes.
Yeah, he's still trying to get rid of them.
I guess he just hates the Avengers that much because they're the reason why his family died, right?
I don't remember anything about Baron Zemo. At least like MCU Baron Zemo.
Well, it was Civil War. That was his appearance, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's where he popped up. Is that the same? Does he get the Stern talking to from Daddy T'Challa in the same movie he does? Okay, I didn't remember. I didn't remember if that was like one of the other movies.
We're still patiently waiting for this Black Widow movie. My God, it feels like it's been forever.
I feel like there's something so... Like, they've probably already gone back and shot a scene that's going to lead to something else, specifically because we had to wait so long. It's like, dude, this movie is bland as fuck at this point. We have to, like, spice it up. Like, throw a Wolverine claw in there, throw a lightning bolt from Storm.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to get, like, a post-credit scene that wasn't anticipated to be in there. Or they'll probably just reshoot a couple scenes to make it a little bit better.
Throw some Easter eggs in there that get us, like, hyped up.
Like, I think it would be... literally the funniest thing ever if Red Guardian, is that his name?
Yeah.
It would be amazing if, like, his appearance is like him coming down a hallway or something fighting these guys, and they just start playing that song Rasputin. That would just be hilarious.
I hope that movie's in that, or I hope that song's in that movie now. Since
I would literally, that would make my life
big
if they
Russian
put that
cast.
if they make that song or put that song in the movie.
I can't wait, because, I mean, people who know me know I love Russia and love, like, the culture of Russia. So now I get, like, a whole hour and some long movie of Russian superheroes.
Yeah, just a whole family of Russian superheroes.
I'm not going to pronounce this.
Well, that's another one that's going to be part of the future Avengers is Black Widow's sister, right?
Yeah, because since Black Widow's gone, you know, her sister in the comic takes up her mantle for a good while. So we got Yelena Belova, you got the Red Guardian, the mom character, I'm not sure of her name, and Black Widow. It's 4 Russians.
So
plus whatever villain.
Another thing that I'm curious about is we're losing a couple of the big names in the Avengers. We're losing, like, Tony Stark and Chris Evans, and I don't know why I keep calling Robert Downey Tony Stark, but that's just what it is.
It's because that's his name. Let's be honest.
Anyways, Iron Man, Captain America, we know that they're out. Thor's probably going to be doing his own thing. I don't think he's really going to be a part of the Avengers. He might have, like, a couple appearances every now and then, but
I don't think the Avengers are going to be a thing anymore.
No, they're probably going to change it into, like, the Initiative.
Yeah, or, like, the Young Avengers will probably some new form.
I'm very curious what they're going to do with Falcon, Winter Soldier. I just had him on my mind. War Machine.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's getting his show too.
He's getting a show?
Yeah, War Machine's getting a show. He's getting a show called Armor Wars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is based on, I'm pretty sure it's based on the comic of the same name. And so what happens in that comic is a bunch of Iron Man's suits get stolen. And this, in my opinion, will lead us to the villain Crimson Dynamo and Ironheart. Because I think what will happen is a little bit of his tech will get found by Ironheart, and she'll make her own suit to help out War Machine. But yeah, in the comics, a character named Crimson Dynamo steals some of Downey Jr.'s, some of Iron Man's tech, and makes his own, like, big hulking, like, Ironmonger, if you remember him suit.
Yeah.
Love Ironmonger. I had an action figure, like, in 2008 when I was 8 or 9, which is so fucking insane.
Was it the movie version?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. You could, like, take the helmet off and you could see, like, him strapped in and whatever. Yeah. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's so crazy to think about. That shit was I was 8 or 9 whenever I watched that movie.
But yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do with those characters. If they're just gonna retire, or if they're
know,
like, are they just gonna retire and still be in the MCU just as a retired person?
Well, Thor will probably eventually get really old and go back to Asgard and be king like his dad.
Either that, or I wonder if those characters are just gonna become like their own thing, like West Coast Avengers type deal.
I mean,
because War Machine was part of West Coast Avengers.
I don't know. I think War Machine will go wherever there needs a leader, like an Iron Man, because he's definitely like I get that vibe.
I still feel like he kind of takes orders from the government though, because he was a soldier, so I don't know.
I think after Endgame, he's probably changed his ways a little bit, because considering the fact that the government kind of rolls their own kind of way, and there's planet-eating giants, in space, so you can't always listen to the government, But I mean, then again, I might be wrong. He might still be because he is a Marine or whatever. He's like
I think he was in the Air Force,
captain or something. He's military.
I think he was Air Force. But anyways,
so he has like ties to the government, and he is very. Like,
I don't know. I'm
soldier boy.
I'm kind of thinking that he might just retire.
He might,
because
he's already been shot out of the sky and almost paralyzed.
Yeah, and he's also getting up in age. Like even in the movies, his character is just getting.
Like older. I don't know if like that's supposed to be a thing, or if Don Cheadle's just old.
Yeah, he is up in age.
Like no disrespect to Don Cheadle, he's a great actor.
Oh yeah, he is.
It's weird to like watch him in other movies now. It's weird to watch any of him in other movies now because I'm just waiting on him to like take out like a shoulder minigun and do some crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Even with like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Falcon might come back to the Avengers, but I don't know because
I think Falcon. I don't think. What's the other one? Well, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Winter Soldier is the captain type. You know what I mean?
Well, Winter Soldier was never really an Avenger. He was just kind of there because of Cap.
No, the only reason he ever like came back was because he was Cap's best friend.
Yeah, he was like, well, my best friend's in this shit. I guess I gotta help him.
I guess this is my problem now.
He's the only one I have left in this world after being 100 years old.
Yeah, that's just. I kind of wish we would have got in like the first Avenger movie. We would have gotten like a scene where Captain America punches Hitler like he does in the comics.
Yeah,
because that was like his first appearance was him punching Hitler. Because America was like in the war, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna do a little bit of.
In the Captain America movie, and he goes up on stage and does all those like shows or whatever, and he's always like Hitler's always coming up behind him and. He always turns around at the right time.
Oh, is that supposed to be Hitler?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
like, I don't remember.
There's like a whole line of dancers, and like every single show, Hitler's always like peeking around him, and then he finally comes out from behind him, and like everybody in the audience is like, turn around. And he turns around at the right time and acts like he knocks him out. And then he goes overseas to help fight, even after he's told not to.
Yeah.
And he breaks out those guys out of the prison that's being held by Hydra.
God, what are they called?
They end up being part of his team.
Yeah, I know. They have a name. I can't remember it though.
But anyway, he breaks them out, and then he's in the suit, and it's still like the one from up on stage, and they're like, "Do you know what you're doing?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I do. I've knocked out Hitler over 200 times."
I don't even remember that. I need to go back and watch that movie.
Dude, I've been going on this like Marvel movie.
I still have
binge.
flashes from I think Civil War of like when they're in the forest. And like it lines up perfect, and they're all like,
oh yeah, that's Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. They're all coming out of the trees. That just plays in my mind sometimes.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool scene.
That's cool.
and then Clint, he gets hit, and Black Widow yells, "Hey, can somebody take care of that bunker?" And then Hulk just comes out of nowhere and just blasts through it. And she's like, "Thank you." But anyways, this is going to be a short episode, and before we wrap things up, we had a mashup that we were talking about.
Yeah, We wanted to do kind of like a new segment for the podcast. That way it's not so like one track and we have a little bit of a schedule.
Well, I mean, like, we don't even really do a one-track thing. We just plan out something, and then we always end up talking about multiple things.
Well, it just so happens that our one track goes around the entire world 4 or 5 times in a straight line.
Yeah.
But it also has a bunch of curves and, like, little knickknacks it goes through.
That's just how we do things.
Yeah.
That's how we do our
Disorganized in the most organized way.
Shit, that might even be a name. That might even be a name for the podcast because we still have yet to come up with one. But anyways,
we'll let you know when we name this bitch.
On the mashup, we have Hawkeye from Marvel. And by the way, before we get into it, we're doing mashups from the Marvel Universe on screen, so the MCU.
Yeah, this episode is on screen.
And we're also doing the DCEU, which we're also including the CW TV shows. So our mashup is Hawkeye and Green Arrow. And I like both characters. Hawkeye, I like a little bit more. But Elijah is going to be defending Hawkeye. And I'm going to be taking Green Arrow's side. I've watched just about every single episode of the Green Arrow. Or the Arrow is what they're calling it on the CW, which is now on Netflix. So I don't remember every little detail. But I can probably describe quite a bit of it. So without further ado, we're going to get into this mashup. And just off rip, even though I'm defending Green Arrow, I think in this scenario Hawkeye would win simply because he can't miss.
Well, Hawkeye misses.
Are you sure it's not just the comic book version that can't miss? Because in the MCU they always play it out like he can't miss.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Because even when he like doesn't hit his target, it's like a fate or it's like a trick arrow.
Yeah, because
it does something.
Because in the MCU we had Iron Man, or it was in Civil War, and Iron Man and Hawkeye were like they had their little moment.
Yeah.
And
doesn't like he shoot an arrow near somebody and they catch it and then it like electrocutes him or some shit?
No, that was Black Panther. He shot 2 arrows at him and he caught it and it blew up in his face, but he had the mask on, so it didn't do anything.
Okay.
But
both heroes that we're discussing use trick arrows.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Green Arrow use the punching bag arrow quite a few times.
Well, I don't recall him using it in the show. Just about every arrow.
Well,
just about every arrow he uses.
I'll give you Injustice, Green Arrow, since you played quite a bit of Injustice.
That's true. But just from the show, I don't recall him using really any other type of arrow from a normal arrow.
Gotcha.
But Hawkeye does use many different arrows.
Hawkeye uses all kinds of arrows. He uses like
I actually like his quiver a lot better too.
MIRV arrows. You know what that is?
No.
Those are the arrows that when he shoots them, they break up into little projectiles and.
Oh, that's the one that Ant-Man wrote on.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like Hawkeye's. I'm talking way too much about Hawkeye.
Yeah, you're not doing a good. Arrow. You're not being a good defender.
I told you I liked Hawkeye better, but still.
Should I start googling shit for Green Arrow?
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I do like Hawkeye's quiver better because his quiver like rotates and he can pick between arrowheads.
I typed in Green Arrow and the first thing on Google was Green Arrow versus Hawkeye.
But one thing that I like about Green Arrow is that I feel like his battle tactics are a little bit better because
I like his suit better too.
Yes, I like the hood.
Yeah,
the hood's
I like the Robin Hood-esque kind of.
And he also has, I don't know if Hawkeye really uses these, but he has like these bracelets, or I wouldn't even know what you would call them. They're like these. I wouldn't even say bracelets. It's just something that he has wrapped around his arms that hold like these mini arrows that he also just throws like throwing knives.
So the first thing I found on Green Arrow is that a lot of the Justice League members think that Green Arrow is a metahuman because of how accurate he is.
He is pretty accurate. I mean, he was trapped on an island for many years.
He's like hitting them shots.
He was trapped on an island for quite some time, and that's where he learned a lot of his skills with a bow.
Apparently, he was trained by the same dude that trained Deathstroke too.
Yeah. See, it's been so long since I've seen the show, but him and Deathstroke and a few others were on that island, and they all met on that island, but that island also consisted of like a small militia group or something, and I think they were out to kill him maybe. God, it's been so long since I've seen it. I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
He was on that island for 5 years.
But yeah, he was on there for quite some time. But Deathstroke, they find like a serum on that island, and I think that's what that militia group was after, was a serum. And Deathstroke, Green Arrow, and a couple other people, I believe, they were like a small group that were fighting against this militia group on the island, and they find the serum as well, but everybody was kind of skeptical about taking the serum because they knew that it would like enhance their abilities, but it messes with your brain.
Right.
It makes you kind of go crazy. And I think Deathstroke was the only one to take it, and it did make him go insane, but he did get really strong. But that's the reason why Deathstroke has one eye, because Green Arrow shot him in the eye with an arrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Same thing with, well, just in the Arrow show.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was in the comics, but also in the Arrow show, Deadshot gets his eye taken out from Green Arrow.
All right, so for Green Arrow, we have at least like the TV show guy. He's got some kind of super serum. Did he take it? I haven't seen the shit.
It's been so long since I've seen it, but I'm almost certain that Green Arrow didn't take the serum.
Didn't take the serum. Okay, well, not helping him.
Because I don't remember seeing anything in the show of him having like a crazy amount of strength over his opponents.
Shortly before we began this, I was looking up some Hawkeye stuff, and just to give Hawkeye a little bit of credit. Apparently Hawkeye's bow, which Aaron thought this was stupid, I thought it was kind of cool, because in history, bowmen for like the medieval times had very, very heavy bows. Like the pull of the bow was very, very heavy, and so much so that you could tell by the skeleton of a ancient archer, because their left arm would be fucking ripped and giant. But
how could you tell that based off of bones?
Shut up, Aaron. Science says so. I don't know. I didn't really read into it much after that, and now that you say something, I might be wrong and sounding stupid on the internet. But that's my job, so that's okay. But anyway, according to comics, Hawkeye's bow has a 250 pound pull. So his pull on his bow weighs more than me.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a lot.
I understand we're talking about fictional characters here, but you talking about like ancient archers, it like back then they didn't have compound bows for one. I know they only had like recurved and long bows.
Right.
But at the same time, that's like, it's already hard enough, like just for normal people to lift.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Lift 250 pounds, much less
that's
just
what I'm saying.
Pull that amount of weight back with one arm on a bow.
That's not an average human's weight.
No.
That's
and most people would be pulling it back with their like less dominant hand.
Yeah, because most people are stupid and think you pull it with your good hand. You don't. You aim with that hand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. See, I'm ambidextrous, so I would pull back with my right just because, for one, it's stronger, and two, I'm accurate with both sides of my body. But anyway,
as far as bow hunt or like just shooting a bow, I can do it with either hand. But like as a rifle, I use my right hand to fire.
I think Hawkeye is more accurate, but at the same time, I think Green Arrow is better in like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have Green Arrow, who was trained by whoever trained Deathstroke, and then you have Hawkeye, who was trained by the government. Or like
I'm almost certain that Green Arrow was trained by Ra's al Ghul.
No, it wasn't. I just looked it up.
Like in the TV show.
I
specifically remember him seeing a lot of, like, I remember seeing Ra's al Ghul a lot in the TV show. But dude, I've seen like 6 seasons, and it's been like over 2 years since I've seen it.
I didn't realize how old that show was.
It's pretty old.
I didn't realize that.
But I just don't remember if Ra's al Ghul trained him or not. Somebody did, because there was like a clan of like archers and shit, and I'm pretty sure he was either a part of that or maybe they were just the villains. I know for a fact they were the villains,
right.
But I don't know if he was part of their clan at some point or another. But yeah, it's kind of hard to compare like arrows because I don't remember him using anything other than just normal arrows. but I know that Hawkeye used multiple different arrows. And I also think that Green Arrow is a little bit better just being on his own. Like, I know that we saw Hawkeye, he was just taking out like clans and gangs left and right in Endgame because he was pissed off that his family died. But Green Arrow, like, most of the time, like in the show, he usually did shit by himself. He eventually did get some help, but nothing like Avengers level help.
Right.
They were just like some other people, some other vigilantes, pretty much people he trained. So it's not like he was pretty much like head honcho of the show.
So what I did is I Googled Green Arrow villains and Hawkeye villains, and where Green Arrow takes the cake is
he's got some serious villains.
He's got some pretty good.
One of them being Deathstroke,
villain.
who is like the biggest assassin in the DC universe.
Deathstroke, Merlin, Prometheus, Ra's al Ghul, Deadshot, Cupid, Count Vertigo. Some of these I haven't heard of. Clock King, Brick, Amanda Waller, which is who puts the Suicide Squad together. Dr. Light, Red Dart, Everyman, and Cheshire. And when you Google Hawkeye's villains, all that really comes up is Zemo. So if we're going to look at things through the eyes of like...
Well, I mean, like, Hawkeye is really just an Avengers type of guy.
Right, but like when he goes into solo territory,
yeah,
he doesn't really have any villains.
No.
So he's mainly a team heel. Like,
well, Ra's al Ghul and Deathstroke are like very serious combatants for just one person.
For some reason, we keep switching off, and I keep defending Green Arrow and defend Hawkeye. But Green Arrow's got, like, he can definitely defend himself.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
better than Hawkeye could.
That's what I was saying with like comparing accuracy to combat skills.
Right.
If it came down to just a regular fight,
I think Green Arrow would take it.
But if it came down to accuracy...
Right, if it was like a full-out COD sniper battle, 360 no-scope, shit, I think
360 pullback?
Yeah, I think Hawkeye would have it. Hawkeye, from what it seems in the MCU movies, especially in the first Avengers, Hawkeye isn't afraid to just blow the fucking shit out of something either. Like, a lot of his arrows are like C4 laced and like thermite and like all kinds of crazy gadgets. And,
yeah,
like,
I would say that Green Arrow is more of like a stealthy kind of guy.
Yeah, he's more of like a real life Robin Hood. It even said on one of the Google things that I saw that he like idolized Robin Hood as like a child or whatever.
Yeah, Green Arrow, he's a vigilante and he's also pretty much a millionaire playboy in his own universe.
And his name's like Oliver Queen.
Oliver Queen. So his dad owned this really big company. His dad dies. He takes over the company.
Right.
So he has a big reputation to live up to, and he can't just be giving away who he is underground, because then he's going to get in some big trouble. So he's definitely on the like stealth level, trying to keep everything low profile. Whereas Hawkeye don't give a fuck who knows who he is.
I mean, I feel like Hawkeye cares about who.
Well, I mean, he's an assassin to an extent.
He's like a government agent, so
I mean, he's an assassin to an extent.
Clint,
so like he doesn't.
Barton or whatever might not even be his real name. That might just be like a tag that the government gives him.
Because I mean, whenever he's going up his opponent, he's using a bow, so of course he doesn't want to just go in guns blazing unless he just has a full arsenal ready.
If you kind of look at his like life outside of fighting, in the MCU, he has this house, with a family. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, like with no way to track them. Yeah. It's all like, you don't see any cars on the property or anything.
Yeah, they had to take the jet to get to his house.
So he's like off the grid, keeping his family like away from like all the other dangers of like his like average work day. So I kind of feel like he's very protective of his like secret life and of his like family life.
Yeah, because the Avengers didn't even know he had a family until they took him there.
Yeah, until they like arrived at his house. And his wife was like, "Oh, hey, honey." They were like, what?
Yeah, I would say he's pretty good at hiding things.
Yeah. I mean, if you can hide something from Tony Stark and Ant-Man, well, Ant-Man's not really a scientist like Hank Pym, and if you can hide it from like people like that, then I'd say you're doing pretty good stealth-wise. Yeah.
So, I'm still on the fence about who I like better, because I really love archers in the superhero world.
I'm gonna make a couple of categories, and whoever we gets like the most votes will win this episode, and that way we can end this without having to actually fight each other. All right, so we're gonna go for accuracy.
Accuracy, combat skills.
Hold on, I can't spell all this that fast. I'm just gonna use the accuracy. All right.
Combat skills.
Combat skills.
Outfit.
Outfit.
Tactics maybe.
I feel like that would go with combat skills, because that's like tactical, like readiness and shit like that.
Let's see, what else would we use?
Accuracy, combat skills, outfit, villains.
I say we would just do it with those 4.
Okay, that's fine.
So accuracy.
I think we'd have to.
Hawkeye.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Hawkeye, but I haven't seen Green Arrow's show. But in the MCU movie, he does not miss.
Green Arrow misses in the show.
Okay, I was gonna say, because there's no point in the MCU movies that I remember where Hawkeye doesn't hit his target.
So Hawkeye wins the accuracy test.
So we got 1 for Hawkeye.
Combat skills, I'm giving it to Green Arrow.
I would also do the same. I think if it came down to like a fist fight, I think Green Arrow would have him beat.
Yeah.
So
outfit, I'm also giving to Green Arrow.
Same here. I think the Robin Hood aesthetic is very, very cool. And villains, we talked
Green
about
Arrow.
we would have to give it to Green Arrow, because he goes against so many of these, like, I wrote VG instead of VA. He goes against these, like, just way more powerful people, you know, and like you said, misses. So he's making mistakes while he's doing this and still wins. I think that speaks, 1,000 words on how he could maybe use that to kind of get around Hawkeye's tricks and all that.
So it looks like our winner for this mashup is Green Arrow. 3-1.
Yeah, which is surprising, because I'm not a real big DC guy, but I think I would have to give it to him.
So let us know in the comments what your thought is on the mashup. Yep. Who do you think would win in this competition? Also, let us know where we were wrong, because that's what the
we don't know everything. Some of you people know a lot more than we do. We're just giving our thoughts and what we know on these characters. So let us know what you think. Let us know if what you know. Just put everything down in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. We're going to start posting a lot more, hopefully. Just let us know your thoughts, and keep up with us. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you next week, hopefully. Alrighty, guys. Peace.